2002. I was doing my graduation at that point of time, and I got selected in your, All India Radio FM. I used to stay in Lucknow. I belong to Lucknow. So on the first day, I had to present a program known as Pop Time in Radio FM. So it was all about English songs I had to present. In fact, I had written a script for whatever I'm going to present. So somehow, technically, it's a little bit challenging today. But that when this happened, how am I going to cover this 1 hour? But somehow everything went smoothly. And as teachers also now working for so many years, I know that every day when you're standing in front of a class full of children, 1 hour you have to speak on your subject. Obviously you are well prepared, but besides that, you are going to come across a lot of students, lot of faces with different gestures. I think all of you are familiar with that. Few first benchers will have a smiling faces, rest of them, you will come across all kinds of actions and reactions. So over the years, I pondered over it, that besides your expertise in the subject, what all other things we have to do to, communicate effectively. And it is very important for your personality development also, which we need to bring about, and which we need to, engage students into personality development. Okay. First of all, when we talk about public speaking, generally, it is not only about, saying anything or telling anything. It is about reaching your audience. It is about reaching whatever their thoughts are. You have to see when you are sitting in a, when you're standing on the podium, the audience is in front of you, you have to reach out, you have to make an eye contact with everyone. That what is the reaction? Obviously, at least in front of you, if you are able to find out 10 to 12 people are looking at you, what is their basic reaction? You should be able to mold your speech accordingly. So that is a very important topic, very important issue that I would like to bring about. Just a second, I will just move on to my next slide. Somehow it is not helping me out.
Madam, keep PPT in front of you without any display, and you speak freely by seeing that points. Huh? Okay, don't try to present.
Okay, sure. I really wanted to share with you somehow.
You shared my screen, okay, it's appearing.
Okay, is it appearing now?
Yes,
Appearing.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, madam, here.
It's good that it's appearing. Okay. Now, you must have heard about a lot of people who are veterans in writing on public speaking, and you must have read number of books on public speaking. So generally, the first thing which comes to mind when we talk about public speaking is self-confidence. That whether you're confident enough or not. So before anyone tells you that whether you are confident, self-confidence is important, this and that, number of things. The first and the foremost thing is that you have to yourself think about it, whether you are confident enough. And you have to inculcate in yourself every time that yes, I am confident. I will be able to speak whatever things I want to convey to my audience, I will be able to convey. Obviously, a planning is required. Generally, it is said that when you are speaking for a minute, you have to prepare your speech. You need to devote almost an hour. If you are speaking for an hour, maybe you need to devote at least a couple of days to think about what you are going to speak. Write down. This is what we do. Our PPT presentations. We write down what all topics we are going to cover, what all thoughts we are going to exchange with the audience. So first of all, persistence is very, very important. Promptness. promptness is very, very important in public speaking. You should be prompt enough. Whatever kind of reactions you are getting from the audience, you should be able to, change your speech or are able to present that. Then work on the perfection. For perfection, practice. Practice how my personal experience I will share with you how I used to practice. First of all, I used to stand in front of the mirror and I used to speak. Still I do the same thing if it is a very difficult topic or it is the pronunciation or it is my body language, whether I am standing straight or not, whether my head is tilted or it is straight or not, lot of other things which we are going to discuss, in fact the non-verbal communications and all during public speaking and all, further we are going to discuss on those topics. So when everything requires a perfection on stage, obviously on the stage we want to see somebody who is perfect, because we have our expectations from the speaker that he or she is going to be a perfect speaker. So we have to work, the speaker has to work on those lines to be perfect.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, madam.
Oh, that's great. Thank you for your feedback. Okay. First of all, factors which I feel is necessary for public speaking is you have to identify the audience. You need to identify the audience. First of all, for whom you are speaking. It depends on who you are. Suppose you are a teacher. You are a teacher when you are addressing your class. I am a teacher of economics. When I am addressing my students of economics, then I have to keep in mind that I will be using certain words which are related to economics. Besides that, if you are into public speaking, suppose you are talking with the audience, you are speaking to a large number of audience, then you should be prepared enough to understand who all are there in your audience. Whether the audience is your youngsters, or if you're giving a motivational speech, then either they are youngsters or you are working for the professionals. You're speaking something for the professionals, or you are speaking to ladies, maybe of the middle age, or your audience are intellectuals. So you have to do language. If you are speaking in English other than the regional language, if you find that the audience in the audience, a lot of people from your elderly people are there, or people from the literary background are there. So you would use your flowery language or some quotations, whatever is related to your speech. Then identify the message, that why you are standing here, why you are sitting here, whatever it is, why you are there on the podium, why do you have the mic with you, what you are going to, message you are going to deliver. That is very important. That finally, after your speech, what was the message? This is what I discussed with you, what your audience has received. That actually will identify your success. That actually will measure your success of your presentation. It does not matter whether you are using a PPT or you are using bombasting words, or you are using heavy literature or any other kind of expression, whether the message has been received by the audience or not. So first of all, you have to identify what one thing you want your audience to take home on that particular day. That I heard this speech. Either they will think about this speech, whatever messages you are trying to give, or they will think about the main crux of the message. message, that what this person is trying to say. Then identify the best way or the channel. It can be anything. You will come across speeches where they will tell you about their experiences. Like I shared my experience with you. So it was, sometimes a lot of people are there, a lot of people are in the audience, a lot of you maybe, you might be able to relate to it. That yes, on the first day when I went to my class, yes, another example was when I enrolled for PhD, my guide within a few months, he said that you're supposed to take a class where I had just done my post-graduation, I enrolled for PhD, then I was supposed to take the class of your Masters in Business Economics. At that point of time, I told sir, what is that paper which I'm supposed to take? So somehow he said that no, this is their first class, as well as this is your first class. This is their syllabus. The paper which I'm about to take, this is your syllabus. I had two thoughts in my mind, to be very honest today. First thing was, I will say, sir, please give me 2 days time. Let me prepare a lecture. Then I will share with you. Then I think I'll be able to take the class. Because it was Advanced Indian Economy. The paper was Advanced Indian Economy. So, another point of time, I thought, maybe why not give it a try? Obviously, they are going to be young people, little bit junior to me. Why not talk to them? Why not discuss some general problems as youngsters we feel that Indian economy is suffering from? Or what are the pros and cons of any particular topic or any particular theory? So somehow I was, weighing my options. And fortunately, I was confident enough and I felt confident that yes, let me go, let me try. What will be the maximum thing? What will happen? Maybe I will be tongue-tied, or maybe sir will come and he will come for my rescue and all, because he was sitting at the back, at the last bench, just for observing whether I was able to, manage almost 80 students or not of master's degree. So when I started first thing, which this is my personal, this is my personal, from my personal experience, I'm telling you, this is my personal, first thing, which I always keep in mind is, whenever you are there on the podium or in the class or anywhere where you are addressing the public, where you're speaking to the people, first thing is your smile. If you smile, that means you are opening the gates of conversation with the people, with the public, with the class, wherever you're speaking. And then the next one was, I started sharing my own views about Indian economy. Whatever I feel, different topics, whether it is poverty, whether it is unemployment, whether it is your current FDI, whether it is your foreign trade, or whether it was your 1991 crisis, whatever it is. So that was a channel I started. Then once I was comfortable, I could speak much. I could see that yes, I am able to, continue this conversation with them. And they also became, because they also have expectations. They also do not know me. I do not know them. In public speaking, it is always not easy, because sometimes, you do not know the audience at all. So you might come across different views. The next is identify the location where you are speaking. Where you are speaking. Your location is very important. Location here means two things. Either you are addressing the class, or you are on the podium, you are addressing the audience, who can be, it depends on the age, it depends on the intellectual abilities, whom you have to identify. Then identify the ways to involve your audience. You can share your experiences. You can ask them questions. In fact, let me share with you a very nice thing which I came across the other day. In our college, we had a finishing school and your placement training program was going on. One of the speakers came and it was an afternoon session. Imagine your youngsters, just after having lunch, they came to the auditorium, and that speaker, when she started, she saw that a lot of students were yawning. So the moment she saw, she immediately asked them to stand up and shake hands with the person who was next to them, or or any other activity this way we can do during public speaking. Either you shake hands, or ask them to jog in that place, or ask them to do any activity. It can be any activity. It might sound why we are doing all this and all, but it actually is energy giving activities. A lot of energy giving activities are there. We can use humor in this situation, because when you laugh, obviously you forget about all the other things and you are laughing, you get that energy from that laughter. That is also a very important thing. So there are different ways of identifying to, you can involve your audience in different ways. It depends on you, it depends on the audience, it depends on your location. But all these things, before making any presentation, you must always keep in mind. Now, obviously, if you are going to make a presentation to, intellectuals, you cannot ask them to wave their hands or do like this, something like this. You can, from the audience, you can ask them to, crack a joke, or what they had for lunch, or anything. It can be anything, just to loosen them out, just to bring the energy back again into the session. Then, as I shared with you, you can see in the slide that a mind is a wonderful thing. We are always thinking. We are never, even we are sleeping, we are dreaming. So there is never a point in our lives where we can say that, yes, anything. We are simply, we are without any thoughts. I don't know. I mean, maybe the people who used to meditate, the rishis and munis and all, the monks and all, maybe they have that capacity to control their thoughts and all. But we are common men. We are always surrounded by thoughts. It can be anything. Let me share with you, in the morning which I have 2 kids in the house. I have a husband who is doing work from home. I have to rush to the college. I have to prepare the tiffins. I have to carry my laptop. I have to dress up. And while I'm commuting, I am thinking, okay, the first thing which I'm going to do today is, generally we have, in my class, generally we do an activity. I directly do not start with the lesson. I do an activity. It can be anything. So what activity I'm planning today? So that commuting time is the place when I think. So we are always full of thoughts. We are always thinking. And sometimes, we are speaking, and we are speaking with our friends. We are talking with the family members. We are on phone constantly. Sometimes you will come across a lot of people who are constantly talking. But the moment you ask them, can you please get up on the stage and speak something? They will be tongue-tied. Yes, I have come across a lot of people. In fact, why should I go outside? In fact, this happened with me a number of times. This happened that I'm supposed to go up on the stage. Somebody was supposed to do, but that person is not nearby. I am being told that Dr. Surabhi, please get up on the stage and speak something. It can be anything. It can be anything. Whatever is going on here, whatever is going on in the program. So you should be always prepared, and you cannot be always tongue-tied. And the first and the foremost thing is, get up on the stage, look at the audience for a minute. It can be for maybe 2 to 3 seconds, smile, and then speak whatever you want to. Whatever you speak is very important. So weigh your words. Weighing the words is very, very important. Weighing the word is very, very important, because Our mind is a wonderful thing. And the first, but stage fright is only half the challenge, I feel. If you get up on the stage, that fright is just half. So you just have to remember, you have to figure out what you are supposed to say, what you are going to say. So you just have to hold back your fear or your nervousness, whatever it is, and speak. And as you are speaking, whatever you speak is very important. Always remember, whatever you speak is very important. So whatever you speak, you must weigh. Before you speak, you must think what you are going to speak. So your speech, as I said in the PPT also, you can see that it is not magic. You will come across a lot of people, they are always ready with speech. They are always ready with beautiful words. No, it comes by experience. It comes by practice, and it comes by that confidence that yes, I can do. So this is a combination. You can say speech is a combination of information also, your opinion also, your confidence also, and your non-verbal communication on the stage or on your podium. That is very important. Now, I want to share with you a few points which I myself follow, that no speech should last more than 20 minutes. It should never be 20 minutes, because the attention span is very less, especially if you're speaking to the young people. At one stretch, 20 minutes is enough to hold their concentration or hold their attention. After 20 minutes, think of something, maybe a story, maybe a personal experience, maybe anything which is, on the lighter note. I think some of you might be thinking that is the reason why she's sharing so many personal experiences. Yes, frankly speaking, yes. And because I wanted to share with you how I dealt my problems of public speaking. In fact, let me share with you. When, from childhood, I was not much of a speaker. I'm the only child. I was not much of a speaker. And it was more of, I used to sing. So, but I was very fond of recitation. I wanted to recite poetries. Then I wanted to, participate in debate competitions in school. But every time I was being told that you do not have the power to hold the audience. You do not have that, the tone which is required, or you do not have that personality. You are a very soft-spoken person. I was being told a number of times, but somehow I never lost I never lost my heart in that. So never lose your heart if somebody tells you that you cannot do it. I said, why not try it? So I tried number of times. Whenever there was any occasion, at home, in my music school, in my college, whenever there was an occasion, I used to jump up on the stage and I used to participate, something or the other. So that fear of stage, that this is stage, I am standing over there. Hundreds of people are looking at me. From top to bottom, they are looking at me. What should I say? Be prepared with your thing. So at that point of time, do not think about anything else. Do not think about anything that what people are thinking about you. No. Think about what you are going to say. Think about how they are going to receive it. You have to pinpoint all your points at the time. Focus on one topic. Like right now, we are talking about public speaking. Focus on one topic. I know some of us are, we have so much to say. we have so much to share with the audience. Sometimes we get carried away, we continue, we do not take care of, we do not see the time. Or sometimes we do not see whether the audience will, relate to the topic or relate to the diversion which you had from the topic or not. So try to focus as much as possible. In fact, we are human beings, sometimes we divert, but try to focus on that one particular topic. Choose your words very carefully, whatever words you are using. Here I would like to mention, I was being told by some of my professors, here I would like to thank my professors in Lucknow University. They were stalwarts. So my professor, Professor A.K. Sen Gupta, he was my HOD as well as he was my professor of public finance. So each and every word which he used to speak in the class used to be like gems, pearls, gems and all. So when I told him, sir, how do you speak the words? It seems that as if you are weighing each and every word you are speaking. I've been inspired a lot by him. In fact, I've been inspired by his words. That is why I took up your teaching as a profession. So he said that, when you are choosing the words, you must remember whether you mean the words or not, whether you would like the words or not, whether you would respect your words or not. Then only the other person, the listener, is going to respect your words. First of all, you have to respect your words. You have to respect the topic. You have to respect your speech. Then the logic of the message is very important. No dramatics is required. No dramatics is required. Sometimes we see it is not a stand-up comedy. Which public speaking, yes, stand-up comedy is a part of your public speaking, no doubt. It is required. You will come across some people, they are moving their hands like this. It is not at all required. Your words should move the audience. You do not need hands to, show that you need to move them. No, humor is also vital. Humor is also vital. So, my professor, Professor Muzammil, used to teach us the history of economic thought. He always used to start our class with some or the other humor. It can be anything. It can be anything. So humor is very important, because if you are in a serious speech, a little bit of smile is very important. And last but not the least, thank you. Thank you is a very small word which we use generously nowadays, but that thank you means a lot. So thank the audience. Thank the audience. Thank the audience that they took time, because time is very precious, and everybody is sharing their time with you to listen to you. That is also very important. So in fact, that is the reason of you, and I again thank all of you that you are giving some time. So your audience is they are sharing their time with you. So it is a very beautiful thing. Time is a very precious thing in life. Generally, I have a pyramid, if you can see. I hope all of you can see. Can I get a response? Try to practice speech in front of anybody. So during speech practice also, two things you have to see. First of all, verbal delivery. You know what you are supposed to speak. You have to write down everything. You have to do research. You have to, you have to properly, you must know how to go about in a very systematic manner. That is, verbal delivery is very important. Practice. Besides that, non-verbal delivery. Non-verbal delivery is also very important. Let me share with you. As I am a teacher, just like all of you, I have come across a lot of students. They are very, very confident. They have beautiful words. They can speak very well. In fact, example I'm going to give you. I had this student way back in long time back in Lucknow University. He was very confident of it. He was good student. He was able to answer very nicely with proper words and all. But the moment he used to stand, he used to keep his hands like this and he used to take the support of the desk and stand. I told him number of times that yes, you come across a lot of whatever it is. Either they will play with their pens, or they will scratch their head, or sometimes people drink a lot of water. So if it is summers, it's okay. I think it's a long beach. That lot of practices are there, non-verbal practices, how you present. Sometimes they will look outside, sometimes they will look here and there, sometimes they will walk all over the stage. So you will come across a lot of those people. So next time when you listen to somebody, just try to see maybe what is the non-verbal delivery. So verbal delivery, with that we have to practice the non-verbal delivery also. If you are nervous, I made a mistake. What mistake? Try to cover it up. Try to cover it up. Try to use different words. Why to reflect that you have made a mistake? Because when you are on the stage, you are expected to be perfect. Support and all, whatever it is. Then your speech purpose of your speech. Why the speech is required? Like currently, why the speech is required? Because as all of you are teachers, you are presenting, speaking in a correct way, how they should speak, how they should deliver. So I want all of you to, extend this session to your students also. Or if you are giving a public speech on a public forum, so you too have to keep in mind all these things. I know most of you keep in mind, but still I prepare my speech that this way I'm going to start, these all things I'm going to share. This is my purpose. For the graduation students, for the UG students, for the PG students, for the MBA students, for anyone. This is my purpose of this speech. Topic selection. Yes, whatever topic. And you have to make regular eye contact.
Just wait ma'am, I have removed him. Just continue please. You are muted, please unmute. You are muted. You are muted. You are muted yourself, madam. Please. First icon, that mic. If possible, you may rejoin.
Ma'am, please you unmute.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, madam, yes.
Okay. All throughout the session, was I audible?
No, it was
Yes,
just.
madam. What is there? What is there? No doubt. Thank you.
Okay. So this is just the last slide. But let me share with you whatever things I think that we have to remember while making a public speech is that like you have to be calm. Whatever the situation is, public speaking is no doubt a very very important art. It's a great art, but the art of remaining calm is the greatest of all. There can be like today we had the technical issue. Then it can be anything. Like I shared my personal experiences with you. That sometimes you are not expecting. Out of the blue you have to present something. Out of the blue you have to speak. So calm, remain calm. That is the key of a good speaker. Then as I told you two-way energy flow should be there between the speaker as well as the audience, and one very important thing which I must share with you, that the right word must be effective, but no word can be more effective than a right pause. A right pause means where you have to stop. What is your point of pause? That is very important. And we have come across a lot of speakers. In fact, I have spoken to a lot of speakers, public speakers, who speak on public speaking, then who speak on different topics. So I asked them, what is the secret of public speaking, if you can share with me? So they said that practice. This is practice for years. So one thing which I feel is people are rewarded in public when you are speaking. Whatever you speak, you are rewarded in the public, but that practice of so many years is in private. We do ourselves at home. And with one quote, I would like to, end this my presentation session. Is very important, because that ending your session, ending your presentation is very important. In fact, the success of your presentation will not be judged by the knowledge which you have sent. It will be by the by what? It will be by the listener who received your knowledge. Whether the listener has received your knowledge or not, even if he or she is able to receive 10% of your knowledge or 10% of your speech, you are successful. And last but not the least, please do not hurt anyone with your speech, because there is Almighty in every heart. So your speech should be such that everybody is happy at the end of the day. Thank you so much, and thank you for the patience. Patience is the key. And I'm really thankful to all of you for being patient with me, for being
public speaking and personality development. Lot of tips have been given to by you.
नहीं मैडम ऐसे नहीं.
After this keynote speech,
मैं आपको बोलता भी बिना एंडिंग हो रहा है. ठीक है.
I request participants for their questions and please participate.
Very good evening, Dr. Surabhi, ma'am.
Very good evening, sir.
I am Dr. Badiuddin Ahmed from Hyderabad, and I am a regular participant of this program. You have an inherited quality of having smiling face. That's one comment I want to make, that everybody should develop that type of, what you rightly mentioned in your initial lecture beginning, that yes, we have to learn to smile, because that really attracts the audience for a teacher, especially for teacher community.
Yes.
That is needed, because when you are addressing the audience, student audience of about 30 or 40 class, it means 80 eyes. The moment they see us or see you, they should feel to listen to you also. That's important. And that's come only by the way you starting point also. Second point, you said rightly, when you speak in front of the public or the students, yes, what to speak is important aspect. I do agree with you. And for that matter, and the reason why people, get stuck up in between, because of they do not have the word power. And what I was taught by my teacher, the former Home Secretary of Andhra Pradesh, K.V. Subramaniam, because I underwent some training program. What he said, irrespective of your understanding, one should go on improving the word power, either through your newspaper or through the small magazines, because our vocal cord, this vocal cord has to be filled up with the words. Unless you have filled up with the words, you cannot vomit. The people go with a lot of enthusiasm, they stuck up in between. They start thinking, because English is not our language, basically, and as our mother tongue, we speak very fluently and very instantly we react, respond. Same way we can't in English language. For that reason, including me also, because I am from Urdu medium background, from first class to graduation, I studied Urdu medium. And I had done only after my post-graduation how to speak actually. And this is really what you today said, many of the good points, keeping in view that my question is that, first of all, we develop our word power and the art of speaking, in the sense that to whom we are addressing, because whatever comes to our mouth, whatever comes in our mind, just not show it. So for that, what is your suggestion for teachers, for students, for anybody who is invited to speak something? They get the problem of starting, to addressing the audience, the salutation and also the addressing the audience, and also the concluding remarks. Also, people get stuck again. What to say, how to conclude. That is two things I observed in many of people. As you also mentioned the name of Professor Muzammil Saha, economics professor from Lucknow. He was a former vice chancellor also, good friend of mine also. So he is such a beautiful. He speaks in HR, University Europe centers. I didn't call him for a very excellent speaker, very smooth going, very clarity in the words. It in the audience mind, he delivers only that extent. Will not cross the borders. So thank you so much, madam. That is my observation. What we have spoken for last 1 hour.
Thank you so much, Ahmed sir. First of all, it's very nice. You are sharing your own experiences also as a speaker. First of all, from my personal experience, and I am telling you, from my childhood, my parents had made a very good habit that they used to buy me a lot of story books. Nowadays, this phone and this laptop, TV, internet and all, so during that point of time, we did not have much. So storybooks, I was very fond of storybooks. So the first important thing is reading, as you have already mentioned. Reading is very, very important. Reading. The more you read, the more you come across the words. Be it anything, whether it is in your mother tongue or any other regional language, or it is English, anything. Suppose if you are going to give a speech in Hindi, then you must read Hindi storybooks or Hindi book, Hindi newspaper. One more important thing, please watch the news. That is what I tell all my students, and watch the teachers. In fact, I was very lucky to have teachers who were great speakers. Their body language, and Professor Muzammil, in every class, he used to give examples with the Sher or Shairi. That used to be there, and he used to explain.
Yes, you're right.
He used to explain how it is related to economy. Then another thing is, the more you read, try to practice. Suppose we have to use a quote in our times, in front of the family, in front of your biggest critic. I would say I practiced it in a way where I used to practice in front of my biggest critic. Generally, people say that if you practice in front of your brothers and sisters, they will be the first one to criticize. Parents will always say that, very good.
Yes.
So brothers and sisters are the ones who actually say, Arey, you made so many mistakes over there. How are you looking here? Why were you looking there? Why the gesture was like this?
Yes.
Or your friends. So news and listen to a lot of speakers. Listen to your teachers, how they speak, because they are on the daily basis, we are taking.
You made a very valid point, madam. If you see the news, because the news words are being supported with visuals, so we can easily understand the context of what the news is, and also how to pronounce particular word also we can learn. That's you are rightly mentioned, and very valid point you are made. Really.
Thank you so much, sir. Any other questions, please?
Hello, good evening. I have one question. Madam, thank you for the excellent speech, because you have given because it is very essential for us, like daily basis we are doing many classes and all, giving attentions to the students, how depending upon their moods. It was very nice, madam. But I feel one here challenging, when I am giving some presentation, the interrupts from the senior professor, or I cannot deny them. For a student, I can say, okay, I can come back to you after this session. When it comes to the higher authority than me, then I cannot interrupt. I need to answer their questions, and I end up with the presentation which I earlier, whatever I wanted to speak, that I am unable to fulfill during that time hour, because always I am getting interrupted from the seniors. So how can I control such type of scenarios during the presentation or some public speaking. I cannot deny them. I cannot tell them that let us meet after session or something. But I want to politely say something so that they also get satisfied and my job of presentation gets continued.
Deepa ma'am, well, before answering this question, let me share with you one incident which I should not say I faced, but I came across. It was during my PhD session, my PhD presentation, means after my PhD, during my presentation of my thesis. So in Lucknow University, we are supposed to give the presentation in the seminar hall, conference room, as it is known as conference room. I came across all my professors were sitting over there from my department as well as from the other department and all. So fortunately, I would say fortunately, I came across few questions. The moment I changed one slide after another, they were coming up with questions. So as I'm thinking about what should I tell about the next slide, my thesis was on am I going to tell about the next slide, they used to ask me questions. They asked me questions. First 2-3 slides, then on the third slide, I very politely, with a smiling face, I very politely said that, sir, can I finish my presentation and answer your questions? Because then I will be in a better position to give more time to your question and more time to your, to answer your questions. And I will be very happy to answer all your questions. But can I finish this presentation? Because then I want to devote more time to your questions also. Because if I tell in between, then I am not able to give enough time, because as I am presenting, some of them might be who are signing your salary check. So you have to be very careful with that. So first of all, you have to be very polite, and politely with a smiling face, you can say that you will be very happy to answer their questions after this session. Whatever questions are there. I hope.
Okay, madam. Yes, madam. Excellent answer.
Please try this and please let me know whether this worked or not.
Definitely, madam. Definitely, I will try, madam, this way.
Yes.
Thank you.
Madam, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Myself, Dr. Shukla, I want to ask two questions. One is, many of the times it happens that certain occasions, all of a sudden we have to prepare a small talk. And then we have to present ourselves. So there is no time for preparation, and how then we can proceed for this? That is the first question. And second question of mine is, many of the times it happens that when we are coming in a flow. Yes,
I just could hear when we are coming into the flow, just till that portion I could hear, sir. Can you please repeat? I think there is some technical difficulty. Sir, can you please type the question if possible?
He daily asked very nice questions. I think he's trying to connect again.
Okay.
Madam, can I interrupt for a second?
Yes,
question.
Ma'am, I'm back here.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Please tell me. Please continue.
Another question is of mine. It is a very much personal question, because when I'm taking class or lecture or maybe the speech, when it comes in a flow, my pace increases, one thing, and voice also, the pitch of the voice also increases. So many of the times in a flow we forget, many of times I try to remind myself, but it happens many of the times. So maybe the audience, whether they are getting my the pace or no, I becomes little doubtful. So what solution you would like to suggest? Thank you, ma'am.
Oh. Shukla sir, this is a very relevant question. I have come across this a number of times, and a very important question which I myself used to do like this. During my initial years of teaching, when I have prepared the topic very nicely, so I am in a flow, and sometimes the speed or the pace used to be very fast. So for this, I realized over the analysis, because when we talk, when we speak, we have to listen simultaneously. What we are speaking, how we are speaking, what is the pace, right? So when you are presenting something, when you are taking a lecture, your preparation is solid preparation. You are speaking, obviously the speed is going, and you know this is happening. So you have to be very careful, sir, that you have to analyze whether the speed is increasing or not. And in between, what I did myself, that I would like to share, I used to give pauses. I used to take maybe 20 seconds pause. Then again I used to start. So this way, there used to be a pause. Secondly, as I told you, you have to listen to yourself also. Because when we are speaking, sometimes we are just, thinking, we are just gathering our thoughts and we are speaking. But we are not listening how we are sounding. So that is very important. So simultaneously, as teachers, we have to be very careful. Then one more thing is audience analysis. While we are speaking, sometimes you will come across students, maybe they are scratching their head or they are doing something else. If they are engrossed, that means you are successful. If they are doing something else, audience analysis, that means somewhere either you are too fast or you are using maybe difficult words. So this is from my personal experience I am telling you. Sometimes you might find across, in my initial years, I found they will start giggling. So the confidence which I had that I'm going to present this, I'm going to teach this way, I'm going to tell this, I'm going to do this, sometimes that used to vanish. So we have to overcome our fears, we have to prepare our words accordingly, and we have to give pause. You try, sir, because this is, I do not know whether it is scientific or not, but this is from my personal experience I'm telling you. I still give a pause. In teaching, it might not be half a minute. Half a minute is too much. 10 seconds pause will also work.
Correct, ma'am. And ma'am, my first question was when we have to give ad hoc some speech or some talk.
Yes.
So how we will present or what will be the structure of my speech?
First of all, whenever you are being asked to present, all of a sudden you have to go on the stage. Before going on the stage, if you get a minute time, or even if you won't get a minute's time also, first you have to address the audience, address the organizers, address the speakers. During that point of time, you have to do multitasking. That is what I do, because I have been through this a number of times. So during when I'm thanking the organizer, the convener, the audience, the speaker, the keynote speaker, whosoever it is, what is the topic? At the back end of my mind, I am constantly thinking, what else I'm going to say about the topic. And topic, obviously, sir, as we are teachers, we have to be well read about what is happening in the world. Suppose it can be anything. I am a person of economics. Obviously, I will not be invited to give a lecture on history. Or if I'm invited to give a lecture of history, somehow I will try to relate it to my positive point, to my economic history of any particular era, or anything which is related to my subject. Means you have to bring the ball to your own court somehow.
And ma'am, I'm disturbing you, but sir, एक ही question. My question is very simple. Many of the times it happens that extempo speech, it is like more live and it becomes more, it attracts the audience than prepared speech. Is this true?
So first of all, extempore speech, suppose it is, if we have to do, then we have to do. We have to be well read, we have to be well practiced for extempore speech. have to be well prepared for the extempore speech. Like, you will be called to give a speech on a particular topic. So it is related to your college or university or anything related to your subject. You should always be prepared. You should be well read about each and everything. And secondly, prepared speech. Yes, preparation is very, very necessary, sir, because writing down the points. I'm not saying that you prepare the whole speech, that good evening, welcome, all this you have to write down, but you should be prepared with the basic points, what all points you are going to you speak about. Like today I was speaking about your public speaking. So I prepared a PPT. So there are a number of points which came to my mind when Big Cursor told me that you are going to give speech. In fact, I was thinking, what should I do? Should I give it on economics or should I give it on what topic it should be? Then why not public speech? I prepared it. Yes, I have prepared a PowerPoint presentation. Extempore speech is more on little bit of, you need to involve the audience. Prepared speech, you might involve the audience, you might not involve the audience because you have the matter with you. But when you are speaking extempore, you need to involve the audience. We need to see how people are speaking, how big knowledgeable speakers, your public speakers are speaking. When there is a question thrown to them, how they are dealing with that. You will see, if you see the news channel, in the program they throw questions to the politicians, how they are handling it. And even if you might come across questions which you might not like to answer, or which you might not be, it might be objectional. I have been an RJ for so many years. I know, like a lot of certain objectional things are also there. They ask me, Madam, how old are you?
But our answer should be very affirmative.
You know what answer I gave? In fact, I was 19 years old at that time. So my answer was, "Farishto ki umr nahi hoti." It is very. If I listen to this answer myself, when I think about it, I laugh out loud. But at that point of time, I was able to satisfy the audience. He was quiet. He also started laughing.
Correct.
You have to think
Taking the situation.
what answer you are going to give, and you have to be very polite. That is the main criteria.
Correct.
You cannot hurt anyone.
Correct, ma'am.
I hope I was able to satisfy.
Thanks a lot, madam, for your excellent presentation, and really it is very meaningful in our practice. Thank you very much. Once again, I will thank our Dr. Bedkar sir also for bringing such a valuable resource person for this program and really enriching us for this kind of I think this webinar should go and continue further, sir. This is my very humble request. Thank you, sir.
With the permission of Chairperson Bedkarji, can I have two observations? One, Madam has spoken and Surabhi sir also. Madam has said that when she was speaking in front of the teachers or professors, she was being interrupted. I think I am very sorry to say, they are not aware that it is very, very unethical to be, making somebody stop or putting questions. You first listen, whether it's PhD, presentation or it is something general speaking, let first you listen. Then, as you rightly said, let the time given to the speaker, and then ask it out. Then that is, when madam you are speaking for last 1 hour, no audience has interrupted you until you completed your presentation. That is the minimum ethical thing which we need to follow. If in madam's case, if that is not the case, she should not speak in front of those persons. That's one point. Otherwise, if it is unavoidable, then she should take permission, as you rightly mentioned, that, sir, let me complete my presentation. I would be highly obliged if you could give me a chance to complete the presentation. That's one of the things. And what sir said, the thing that, yes, it is always there, keeping things in black and white. We cannot be extempore only in case of, as you rightly said, stand-up comedians can go for this because they are regular, watching these different issues and they are trying to project it. But for in case of teachers, nothing wrong with keeping in front of us black and white things which we are supposed to speak, which will give the confidence. As you rightly mentioned, pointed points, some bullet points you keep, then you speak on and around that point. That will give the best, listeners. Otherwise, what happen? If you just go on speaking, I am bluffing, some blah blah, that will really create problem for us, and the whole interest will be going from the audience also. That's what my submission, madam.
Well said, sir. Correct. Well said, sir.
Thank you so much.
Any other
Is there anybody else with any more question, please? Thank you, ma'am, for your very wonderful speech and interactive session. Thank you, Deepa ma'am, Dr. Badiuddin sir, Dr. Shukla sir, for your questions. Now, after this very fruitful keynote speech and very good question answer session, now I would like to request Chief Organizer and Chairperson of this webinar series, Honorable Principal Dr. M. Ambedkar sir, for his concluding remarks and speech. Please, sir, welcome.
Thank you, Professor Karad sir. Today's resource person, Surabhi madam, all the organizing team committee members of the college, Vice Principal S.D. Misal sir, IQC Coordinator Dr. Sanjay Kale sir, Junior College Supervisor Shri Karanje sir, Shri Udge sir, Prashant Ughade sir, Jamuntrao Kadam sir, Dhole madam, and all the participants joined here, including Badiuddin Ahmed sir, Swanand Shukla sir. Today's is our the webinar series, concluding webinar event. From June 2020 to up to this today, we try to continue and invite the best resource persons, as Swanand Shukla sir said. Every resource person contributed very nice. We are very fortunate and thankful to all. More than 600 webinars with 445, I think 453 webinars with women resource persons from India and abroad. If I see the list today and what they contributed, they have in summary they have sent to us. It is appreciable and very overwhelming response, and that I no words to say thanks to resource persons how they contributed here. Lastly, when I was going to conclude webinar series, Krupanidhi sir that informed me few resource persons, and I naturally tried to invite and involve them. I am very lucky. I got very studied, experienced resource person in this series, and today I am very happy that Surabhi madam have talked here about the presentation skills, personal development skills, because it's needed to every, maybe literate, maybe illiterate, but more useful for the teacher, those who are going to deliver every day something for the public or for their student. Your experience, your hard work, your research, and what you have tried to overcome yourself is the example of for us. You are also All India Radio artist. Also, you have presented on the Doordarshan and all the major channels. You also keep hobby with the classical music. It's a sort of great respect to you, because India is the gift given to the world, that classical music in India, and what we artists have faced in the India, or we learn or we listen to them, it's a great for those who keep some in touch with this classical tuning. So as per our decision and as per my request, all is well, everything is very nice, and every resource person have contributed. You also do best for us. Before the thanks or after the thanks, please I request you to sing 2 lines, 4 lines, 5 lines, or any as per your for a holy ending of this webinar series. Prakash Karad sir, please you express first of all vote of thanks. Then after listening, we can't listen anything. Just keeping that tone in our mind, we will leave from this dais. Prakash sir, please express formal vote of thanks. Up to that, she will prepare for her music or her song.
Yes, sir. Now it is the time for all of us. Vote of thanks on behalf of Shri Kumarswami College Ausa. First of all, I would like to thank today's honorable speaker, Surabhi ma'am, who has accepted the invitation of our college, spared her precious time to deliver a very nice lecture on the topic, public speaking and personality development, all the aspects related to public speaking, number of important tips which have been given by the honorable ma'am. These will be really helpful for all of us in our personal speaking and also to teach students. Also, she has spoken about verbal communication, non-verbal communication, gestures, which is also the part of our personality. And if we take care of all these, it helps us to develop personality of self and also of our students, and we can suggest to others. So thank you ma'am for your all-around lecture on this topic. I sincerely thank you ma'am. I also thank Chief Organizer and Chairperson of this webinar series, Honorable Principal Dr. M. Ambedkar sir. I think he has made use of Corona period as the boon. And because of the Corona pandemic, there are many negative effects, but even this time is utilized by our chief organizer and chairperson as the boon, as the blessing, and he found out the solution for communication when people were inside their houses. The webinar series, and we got very studied keynote speakers, and we are fortunate to listen their keynote speeches on different topics related with variety of fields. And so really, I cannot express it in words that all of us have enjoyed it and enriched ourselves. And it is like a dream, but this has been materialized and translated into reality only because of the hard efforts, tenacity, patience, and all qualities which are required to run this webinar series. So from the bottom of the heart, I really thank you sir on behalf of the participants from different parts of the country and different corners of the world, and you have connected all of us intellectually for exchange, for enrichment of knowledge and all these things. So once again I thank you sir. I also thank participants. We are from different states, different parts of the country, different parts of the world. Then also because of our single purpose to enrich our knowledge, we have come together, and we all are enjoying through our punctual attendance, through our patient listening, through our exchange of knowledge, because of our questions, because of our doubts, because of our additions, because of our suggestions. And so I once again thank all the resource persons and all the participants, because these are the soul, these are the inseparable part of this webinar series, and these have really helped us to make this webinar series a success. So from the bottom of the heart, I thank all the participants. I also thank Dr. Anita Dhole ma'am, who daily gives introduction of honorable speaker, invited speaker. And so thank you ma'am. And now I request all the participants that today, till we have not sent the feedback link, but will be sent as soon as possible. Do not forget to fill your feedback link. We have your certificate. And as the chief organizer has informed me and informed all the participants that we are going to listen something in melodious voice of the honorable speaker, and we will really enjoy it, and there will be the happy end of the first webinar series, and later on it is going to continue, but as per the directions of the chief organizer and chairperson. So we all are ready to enjoy the melodious voice of honorable speaker Surabhi ma'am. Thank you to all. Thanks. And you are welcome ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Today, I'm going to sing a few lines of one of my favorite bhajans. I follow the Banaras Gharana, my Guruji Pandit Ganesh Prasad Mishra ji. I've learned from him. Then Pandit Vinod Chattopadhyay, from him I have learned your Geet Ghazal Bhajan, and from my Guruji Pandit Ganesh Prasad Mishra I have learned Hindustani classical.
personality, having all the, the best God-given gift is that you have got a smiling face. May God bless you, ma'am. Really, it is great to have you today with the ending. Shwetka साहब आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. It was wonderful events, and we will be missing from tomorrow because we were habituated at 7 o'clock, rushing towards home, starting this. Really, it's a really great moment for me, especially. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. We will meet after few days. After at Sunday there will be no webinar. I will appreciate and I will respect your hoping. I will continue on Sunday, not daily. Thank you, madam. I was assured that after seeing your song, I can't speak, but everyone fluently try to give some their opinion, so I unmuted me. Thank you, madam, for your singing, for your speech, and for contributing here. We will again invite you. We will keep in touch with you, and thank you from all my participants.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It was indeed a very beautiful experience for me as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
On the part of the institution Shri Kumarswami College, Ausa, I have the wish to express gratitude towards keynote speakers and participants. But really, today I am not finding words to express my gratitude and thankfulness. So, in short, only I can say that from the bottom of the heart, once again, sincerely thankful to you and grateful to you. Thanks.
Bedkar sir, eagerly waiting for the next series. Thank you.